Daryl and Carlo back with you and another edition of the Republic West Remodeling Home Tour. And when you think Arizona, a lot of people think desert. Well, the view here obviously shows you it's anything but desert. And when you look at this house, you imagine this wall wasn't here. This was a closed up home, but it's completely wide open. We're going to take you inside. We're going to meet Lee and Sue Tice and what Republic West Remodeling has done for them. So I showed you the inside of the house from the outside. Well, it actually ended right here. You had a completely different vision for this home. Tell me about it, Sue.
Yes, we did. When we bought the house, it had walls, it had very small windows, but we bought the house for the view. And we just weren't getting that feel. We would walk in the door and we just felt closed in. And I thought, you know what I want? I want people to walk in that front door. I'd like to have a nice new kitchen, but the kitchen's for me. I want them to walk right past that kitchen and go right to that window. I want them to see that view because that's what this house is about.
And that's what you get when you come into the house. It's nice and wide, completely wide open.
Yes, it
so
is.
That's perfect on your part. But let's go to the next level because this kitchen, if I'm not mistaken, you told me earlier, stay out of my kitchen, it's my zone.
It is my zone.
And?
I'm one of those people that doesn't like people helping me cook. This is my work area, and I'm pretty organized, and I have my own way of doing things.
Sure.
So I wanted people to stay out here, over there. This is my domain. The kitchen is for me, and that's where I want to be.
Do you tell them that? Do you say, get the heck out of
Yes,
my
I do.
Very good.
I'm very good at that. And it works out fine because I have a very nice work area that they helped design for us. And I can be in here working, and yet I'm still part of the party because there's chairs and seats all the way around.
It's all the way around, so you can go from any room on this main floor, and the kitchen is the focal point,
Yes.
which is the excellent part. For you, Lee, you wanted to make sure you had a wet bar.
Yes.
Enter this piece, which you probably would never even see from the beginning of your mind.
Well, we knew that we wanted to move the crowd out, and we needed some place to organize around. And
Sure.
the interesting thing is that we went to Arthur, the designer, with just those comments, those ideas. And what I was really amazed at was that he spent 3 hours with us the first day, took all those ideas and just took them back and said, let me just think about this for a while. Then he came back, and we sat there for another 3 hours, and he went through this whole thing again, which just kind of amazed me. And he said, well, you guys think about it a little bit more. We went through a lot of different window designs and things like that. And he said, I'll be back. And he was.
I'll be back.
I'll be back.
Yes, okay.
And the third time, we kind of finalized all the ideas. And then he said, I'm going to take it back to the office and put it in my computer.
Right.
But the interesting thing about this whole thing was that process, because Sue was really concerned about the fact that it could end up being one of these horror stories.
Yes.
Where you start remodeling and it never gets done.
How many times have we heard about that?
Oh, they're
Right.
terrible, and we were so worried about that, or she was more than I was. And that was all put to rest when we saw the schedule that they came with, where everything is, they show you what they're going to do each day, and they don't leave until that's done.
And isn't it amazing that they show up with the actual computer drawings of what this kitchen is going to look like? Because when you first see it, it's like, there's no way. And then when it materializes, it's like, wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hallelujah chorus,
You
I
see
guess.
it and you say that's exactly what I want.
That's what I was looking for.
I want to talk about what Arthur and you and some of the other people that are involved in the real heavy labor were involved with in just a second. And I'm going to take you to this wall because this is a load-bearing wall, and it's a pretty important part of this stage in the remodeling process.
Yeah, the post you see right here had to move approximately 18 inches, and that was the load-bearing post. Well, we thought that, there's got to be a footer underneath there, so we'll be able to put the new post pretty much on the old footer, maybe add a little bit to it.
Wait, so time out. So a two-story home, you believe this was already a load-bearing wall, is that
Right,
what
well,
you're saying?
that's what holds the upstairs bedroom up.
All right,
The post is holding
All right,
it.
keep going.
And when we got to doing it, we took the construction crew took a drill and drilled down through the floor to hit the footer,
Yeah.
and the drill fell 4 feet down. There was nothing there.
That's not what we want.
That is not what we were looking for. So literally what had
And
happened.
so Sue runs out the front door, Lee gets his shotgun, and we know the rest of the story.
Well, the point is that we had to get a footer put in there, which was never put in the original construction. And so what they did was they cut a hole in the floor large enough so that one of their workers, who was a relatively small framed young man, could get down in there with a little shovel and dig a footer that they filled with concrete. And, you know, it was one of those things you run into, but, you know, they never even charged us extra for that. It was kind of a great deal.
You don't want to tell people that part of it.
No, they probably
Because
should.
Republic West Remodeling, they're always doing above and beyond whatever your expectations are.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Little did you know you had a coal mine down there, so you could drop a guy who was small enough to get down there and start shoveling it out. But the basic story was they were able to create the footer, drop in what you needed here for
put the
a
post
load
in where
bearing.
we need it.
Because in another 5 or 10 years, this whole top would have been gone.
Could have been.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that ties into the beam work that we had to do, because this was a porch, and it has an open porch up above.
Sure.
Kind of a veranda up there. And we needed to support that somehow, because the post that's on the outside corner, we want it gone so it wouldn't obstruct the view. And they came in with a design of beams that went across this way and that way, and they beamed the whole thing.
And they took the entire design with that structural beam system that they created, and of course we have the wet bar. Sue, it was a few years later, though, that you said, I've got some bathrooms I need done. And by the way, folks, it wasn't one, it was 3 bathroom projects, so that's big. First of all, tell me about that part of the story.
Well, we made the decision that we were going to stay here because of the view. And we love the house, we love the kitchen. So now it's time to upgrade the bathrooms and just redo them a little bit.
Sure.
And there really was no choice. I mean, we knew exactly that we were going to go back to Republic West Remodeling because they had done this wonderful job for us.
Because what you had seen is exactly what came about. So,
exactly.
All right, we'll trust the bathrooms to them.
Right.
Now, I've only seen the after effects of the bathrooms. They're gorgeous. You were telling me about the mazes and the big walls and everything. Tell me about that.
We had, and still have, a Jack and Jill bathroom between 2 bedrooms upstairs, and it was nothing but a maze of doors. You had to shut this door to open this one, and we just wanted to
how
get
many
rid of
times have
those.
we seen those?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
So we were going to take those out and put pocket doors in, and in the process of doing that, we ran into another idea that we all kind of agreed on. And
They had taken out all the walls. They had them all taken out, and I was watching the process, and I walked in when the walls were out, and when I saw the wall gone, I immediately called Sue and said, Sue, you got to come upstairs because we're going to change our mind about this. We're not going to put that wall back in. We won't put a pocket door there. We're going to leave it open. And the interesting thing about it was how we collaborated with the foreman and with Republic West to make that change on the run, so to speak. And frankly, it was a change that we made. Didn't cost us anything. It worked out well. In fact, we got a little credit back because we used one less door.
Well, you can't beat that.
Can't beat that.
And again, these are your ideas. I guess that's the big issue here.
Yeah.
This was a collaborative mission, I think. Collaboration is the big word that we use for this assignment, right, Lee?
Yeah, exactly right. I really think that's what it is. And the process of giving your thoughts and ideas to someone like their designer, Arthur, giving them to him and letting him put that into a picture for you.
Right.
And it just comes back and you see exactly what it's going to look like.
Right.
So you know what you're going to end up with, and you know when it's going to be done.
Yeah.
I think that's the nicest part. They don't miss their deadlines.
I'm telling you, you've seen the beauty of the inside and the outside of this home. People want security. You want warmth. You want a feeling of home, not just house. And when I come into this home, that's what I feel. And so it looks like you got exactly what you wanted.
Yes, we did.
And I think somebody's going to pour somebody a drink in a minute, Lee.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
I want to go back outside just for a moment, though, and take a look at some of the outside beauty just one more time. Come on. As you can see, the beauty is not just on the outside, but it's on the inside of this great house. Sue, thank you so much. Lee, thanks for letting us into your home.
Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Another show coming up real soon, republicwestremodeling.com.